Hi, Recovery Girls. It's Chenille. And hey, ladies, it is the last week in May. And in a lot of recovery circles, we talk about the fifth step in May. And so I thought I'd share a little bit about my first fifth step experience. And, this step, it was dual. It was kind of bittersweet. So it was bitter in the sense that I was about to let all my dirty laundry out and let somebody know the good, the bad, and the ugly. One person would on earth other than me would now know about the fact that I was not perfect, and I had flaws. So that was kind of the bitter part. But the sweet part was that I knew that in admitting the exact nature of my wrongs, as we do in step 5, to myself, to God, and to another human being, would bring about change. Because when we admit where we are, we open up the possibility of God coming into our lives and doing some awesome and amazing things. So it took me a long time to get to step 5 because I took a long time with steps 1 through 3. And in recovery, we often talk about the tango, the steps 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. We go back and forth until we're ready. And then when we arrive at step 4, we are able to take a serious look at our character assets and defects. And for me, it took many, many months to get through step 4 because I wanted to do everything just right. But once I finished with my step 4, I went right into my step 5. And I was able to get some relief because number one, somebody knew and knew everything about me, and I was loved and accepted. And I think that is the beautiful part about sponsorship because you've been working with this individual for the past 4 steps. So you have that support, but also by working on steps 1, 2, and 3, and 4, there's also a better established or reestablished relationship with God or higher power. And my higher power is God. And so that was very supportive. But at the step 5, I went from feeling like a victim to being able to identify where I have had some error and where I needed to get things right. And that set me up to allow a power greater than myself to begin transformation in my heart and my mind and in my soul. So sometimes, ladies, the reality is step 5 is a big deal. And especially when you're so ready for change and you've been doing things the wrong way, it can be intimidating. But there's so much hope. And I think the biggest part of hope with step 5 is that somebody knows you. You are completely barren, emotionally. You strip yourself and you allow someone to see you, and you start to develop intimacy with another human being. Into me, see. You allow another person to see you, good and bad, assets and assets gone awry, which are our defects. And you allow yourself to be loved, supported, and encouraged. And one of the awesome things about step 5 is that a sponsor is able to see patterns and to call that out to you in ways that you might not have noticed. I know for me, I didn't notice certain patterns, and in my patterns, fear was a huge motivator. So to have somebody be able to point that out to me allowed me the opportunity to start thinking about that and applying it in my life and in my relationships further. Because remember, the steps are about spiritual growth, spiritual progress, and about harmony with ourselves, God, and others. So step 5 can be scary, but remember, there is such hope because step 5, we go from victim and to transformation when we are admitting, being honest with ourselves, God, and another human being about those wrongs we have had, and we become willing to move into step 6 and become willing to have God remove the defects of character. So ladies, remember, keep up the good work. Recovery can be difficult, but it is oh so worth it. You are worth it. I believe in you, and I know you can do this. Ladies, remember that God is wild about you. He longs to overshadow you in his goodness. All you have to do is let go and let God. I've let go, ladies. What about you?